the first day, the site sold out. I made $2,000 the first day.
First drop ever.
First drop ever sold out.
Damn.
And then I was like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. Like, they're like, I don't think that they're good, but I had a bunch of people like, oh my God, like these decks are the best decks I've ever had.
Yeah.
So I got really psyched, and that was when I kind of upgraded my stuff and made more decks, and then my stocks just kept on selling out. And I think a lot of it came from like my YouTube channel, just like being able to market it on there and having a great community that just supported everything that I did.
Just for reference for like any viewers out there that are working on starting a business or company, at that time you said you had around 5,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. How many views were you averaging during that time?
On average, maybe 500 views, okay. 500 to 1,000.
With those 500 views, you were able to sell out your stocks, which was how many boards? I
think the first stock was 30 decks.
That's fucking good. Getting 500 views a video and selling out 30 boards, that's good, for the record. Okay, so stocks were selling out. Just tell me everything. What was going through your head during that time? What changes did you make to the business? Everything.
Let's see. So stocks were doing really good. I think I told myself if it kept up, because I went from making $2,000 from the first stock to making $4,000 the next stock, and it just kept on going up. At a point, I was making $6,000 a month.
And at this point, you're still working at Boardroom, right?
Yeah.
So this was you had a job. This was a part-time thing that you're like, holy shit, this is doing well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think one of those things that I just jumped in at the right time. I was like the newest company out, and I was just doing things a little bit differently. But like when I started making like $6,000 for 2 months consistently, I was like, well, if the next stock does well, I'm gonna quit my job. And obviously the next stock did do well, and I quit my job, which is the downfall of all of it. That's when it everything went bad.
Elaborate more on that. What do you mean everything went bad?
So I quit my job. The first month was fine, or the first few months was fine. I was just making enough money to cover everything, and then I ended up. Let's see. From there, when did I move to Portland?
I remember we were staying at. I remember you were living at Tamara's house.
Yeah.
And you told me that you were gonna quit your job, and I was like, yeah, sick. And I'd say 3 months after that, maybe.
Yeah, it's 3, maybe 6 months after that, I ended up moving to Portland. But before all of that, I was really scared because I was like, well, I had a little bit of money from Boardroom, and I want to make changes. I wanted better things. I want to actually make better decks and be able to sell at a higher grade.
Just upgrade.
Yeah, it's always progression. I didn't want to stick with the same crap that I was making, and that's where it really went down. Was everyone was so used to what they're getting, and for me to just switch everything up, switch the shape, switch how I did the graphics, I think everyone got all confused. And they're like, well, we like the decks how they were. That's why we
But
wanted to buy
in your head, you're doing it to better your company. But in the customer's head, they're like, we were buying for you from a reason. If you're buying from you for a reason, why are you switching it up?
Yeah, exactly.
Part of the reason that I wanted the topic of the podcast to be about this is just because myself as a YouTuber, I get tons of DMs being like, what made you start a YouTube channel? How do you start it? What's the first steps? And I feel like the first step, starting a YouTube channel is the same as starting a business, essentially. You have to get customers, aka viewers, and I think that there's tons of people interviewing YouTubers, but not that much so interviewing people that started businesses. And I think I'm a firm believer if you fail and you don't learn from anything, you don't belong in the entrepreneurial space.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you can learn from your mistakes, that's the biggest step you could possibly achieve. And that's kind of why I wanted to pick you as an example. Not saying you failed by any means, because
I for sure failed.
No, you didn't fail because you ran a successful company and you paid your bills for how long?
2 years.
Yeah, that's successful. You can't say that you made a fully self-sustaining business off of nothing, were able to survive off 2 years from it.
Yeah,
that's not a failure.
Yeah.